Ask any fundraiser when their donors give, and you'll typically get one answer. Well, we get a lot of gifts in December. And they're not wrong. Year end is a real thing. But December is the organization level answer. It's the sum of thousands of individual decisions, and it hides something far more useful. Every donor has their own season. In the next few minutes, I want to show you what that means and why meeting donors in their month instead of yours is one of the cheapest levers you have. That December answer has some validity at the organization level. For most organizations, the calendar's biggest spike sits right at year end. The holidays, the tax deadline, the December push, Giving Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. But look at this curve and remember what it is. It's not one decision, it's the sum of hundreds or thousands of individual donors, each with their own reasons and their own timing, some of which happen to pile up in the same few weeks. The spike is real, but it hides what's underneath. Underneath that spike, your file is full of donors whose real giving month or months is or are nowhere near December. Maria gives every July like clockwork, around the anniversary of her first gift. James typically renews every spring when his own finances reset. The Patels give in October because that's when your event has always been. Dana is your classic year-end donor. 4 donors, 4 different seasons. The December spike just isn't everyone's moment. It's just where a lot of these personal rhythms happen to overlap. And most organizations ask all of them at the same time anyway. Here's what it costs. When you treat seasonality as one org-wide event, you save your energy for the year-end push and blast the whole file in November and December. For the true December donors, great. You met them where they are. But the donor who reliably gives in March now gets your ask at her least likely moment. She might give a little more out of loyalty, but you've spent a year of attention pointed at the wrong month and trained yourself to ignore her for the other 11. Timing is only one of the levers in fundraising that costs nothing. You can't easily change who gives or how much, but you can always change when you ask. And asking a donor in their month rather than yours is the closest thing to free money in the building. And this isn't a vibe, it's a pattern you can calculate. 3 show up again and again. First, mode gift month, the month a donor gives in most often. And for a surprising share of your file, it's 1 or 2 months, year after year, often not December. Second, anniversary giving. Gifts tied to the date someone first gave or a recurring personal moment tied to a date, not your campaign. Third, seasonal cadence. Donors who give on a predictable split like spring and fall, or who renew a set number of months after their last gift. None of it is exotic. It's all sitting in your gift records. The only problem is nobody has time to read it donor by donor. And this matters most at the very top of your file. For major and principal donors, the season often has nothing to do with sentiment and everything to do with their own cash flow and financial planning. Think about what really drives a big gift's timing. Appreciated stock gifted before year end for the deduction, a required minimum distribution or qualified charitable distribution from a retirement account, a bonus, a vesting date, or a liquidity event like selling a business. A donor advised fund they top up at a set time, or a family foundation on its own fiscal cycle. The gift rides along with the financial moment. So if you know a donor gives appreciated stock every December, you don't open that conversation in December. You have it in October while there's still time to plan the transfer. Meeting a major donor on their financial calendar isn't just good timing, it signals you understand how giving actually works at that level. There's a defensive reason to understand this too. An organization that knows its giving is dangerously concentrated in December is an organization that knows it's one bad year end, one storm, one news cycle, one distracted month away from a serious miss. When you understand the rhythms underneath the spike, you can start to smooth out that curve, cultivate spring and summer donors in their seasons, move some renewals off the December cliff, and build a year that doesn't hinge on that last 3 weeks. You're not fighting seasonality, you're using all of it instead of only the loudest part. So why does this stay hidden? Same reason almost every useful pattern does. Your CRM stores gift dates, not gift rhythms. This donor's mode month is July, is not a field you can typically pull. Neither is this donor renews about 10 months after their last gift, or this donor's giving has drifted from spring to fall. Each one is a calculation across a donor's full history and then across thousands of donors, refreshed every time a new gift lands. A report tells you Jane gave on July 12th. An analytic tells you Jane gives nearly every July, so reach out in late June, not in your December blast. That's the difference between a date and a decision. So here's where I'll leave you. Your year end will always matter. Keep running your December push. But the donors who don't give in December are still giving. They're just somewhere else on the calendar, and it's important to meet them where they are. This is exactly the kind of thing Raistel calculates for you. It reads the gift history you already have and surfaces each donor's rhythm, their mode months, anniversaries, and seasonal cadence, alongside your overall curve. So instead of one giant December list, you get the right donors surfaced in the right months all year long. If you want to see where your donors actually give, grab the guide. Thanks for watching.